Okay, so as promised, I gonna start this little venture here with Moth into Flame. This game was played on April 6th, kind of in the afternoon. So let's take a look at these details and jump right into it. Takes a second to load. Might be a little bit too loud here. I'll turn that down. So I lost the die roll, and I know he's playing something mono blue. Can't remember what it is. I like to set he joined my game, and I like to go 32 minutes. I think that's the sweet spot for me, just in case. So he is playing, I want to pronounce that right, Callaphe, Beloved of the Sea. Looks like a Voltron type commander that kind of gives itself protection. So it's kind of hard to target that later on in the game. You know, the bigger it gets, it looks like it's the harder. Creatures and enchantments you control have spells your opponents cast that target this permanent cost one more to cast. Yeah, and you can just back it up with some counter magic as well. So Voltron it out, give it a way to have flying, and yeah, go to town. I'm playing Glarb. This has been kind of a mainstay. Played it for over a year now. It's a pretty good commander for this. It replaced Tassiger, in my opinion. This just has a little bit more advantage than something like Tassiger. So you can get Tassiger out by delving, and then after that, it's, you know, get rid of, you know, if it gets swords, you know, you lost all those cards, and this thing you just get out 3 mana. 3 mana, that's it. And you can hopefully surveil or do whatever it is that the deck's trying to do. I got a pretty good hand here. I got 3 land, which is all you need, and then Sylvan Scrying can go get like a Strip Mine, or I don't think this deck has Maze of Ith, but like a Strip Mine or color fixing if I got green. This is kind of a combo card, which you'll see later in the video. It's clunky, but it can work. I just kind of wanted to test that out. This card could easily be replaced for something like Burgeoning, or the green spell that lets you play like additional lands. So I got some ramp and then an Imperial Seal as well. So obviously this is a keep, and he's going to go first. Let's see what he does here. Just a basic island. He says go after that. Start with a forest. Grab that basic forest, so that's going to kind of get me around Wasteland. If he's got a Wasteland, I just, you know, can keep a forest and then maybe get out a Talisman or Search. I can't remember what I did. It's been 3 days, so when he plays his second island, I'm looking at my hand, and if he's got a counter, I mean, is he going to really use it on one of these two? So I got to try and think about baiting his counter magic out of his hand. I certainly don't want this. I don't want to start threatening with a Watery Grave or a Windswept Heath, green, and then maybe Sylvan Scrying. Maybe he thinks that I'm mana screwed. I think that's the safer go. So, does he do anything? Okay, so he actually taps out. And yeah, just like I thought, +1/+1. So this is an Aura and Equipment Matters deck. This is Voltron, which I'm kind of relieved to see that, to be honest. It's rough playing against counter magic sometime. There we go, another basic land off the top, so I'm just going to go ahead and play that. I can get away with ramping just a tad here with him being tapped out. Why not just do the Imperial Seal? Or, no, I guess I didn't do that, and I actually agree with that. I could have Imperial Seal, but it's just too early to tell what's going to happen. I got enough mana to kind of keep pace with him. That's all I'm worried about, I guess, as to this point. Excuse me. Got his 3rd mana. I would think he'd play his commander. Yeah. So that thing is going to come down quick. Talisman, okay. So, I start with Vista, I would think. Vista and then the Talisman. There's a Talisman. We got the Vista, okay. So, I think I can just play Glarb in response. I don't think he's got flying at this point. Yeah, so I can play Glarb and then, unless he's got like a Force of Will or something like that, he can't really counter it. If I could tap my mana right, but yeah. I think bringing down Glarb and trying to bait some counter magic is perfect. Right on top you got the Opposition Agent, which is pretty decent, but against blue, I mean, you got your tutor, like your mystical, your personal tutor, but intuition, fetch lands, but it doesn't seem like this deck has much of that stuff going on right now. So Opposition Agent, for right now, isn't that big of a deal. But he does have 4 islands. So that Umbra Armor, which doesn't this make this thing stay on him? So spells your opponent's cast that target this permanent costs 1 more to cast, and then creature would be destroyed, remove all damage, and destroy that specific aura. Wow. Yeah, so this thing's going to stick around. Kind of scary in mono blue when you're able to make it a 4/4 on top of that too, and then just make it stick around, and then maybe have some counter magic, but so far I haven't seen any counter magic, and then he gives it flying and is able to venture into a dungeon. 5/4. So there's no blocking that. So commander damage is going to come in fast. It's turn 4. He's got a flyer with blue. He's also got 1 island untapped. Cost 2 to equip that, okay. Yeah, there's really no need to equip that, I guess. So he dealt the damage, and now he's going to scry 1. Gets to scry 1. Okay, so we got Limdol's Vault on top. He's going to do 7 damage. Like, that's going to pile up fast. So it's like, what can I do here? Play a land, pay the 2 life because the commander damage is going to kill me way before the actual damage will kill me. Looks like I'm going to play the Morning Song, or Morn Song Area is what this card's called. So this makes it to where he cannot draw anything, but he can certainly tutor. He's got to pay 3 life, and then he can search his library for a card. And I'm sure there's some stuff in his deck that if he had with 4 mana, it's probably going to end the game even faster. So, certainly going to play that for that purpose. Now, I got, as you see, I got 3 mana untapped. And I fully intend on using that. I should have maybe waited, but I was just kind of afraid that he had one of those 1 mana counter spells. So I rushed it out. He's got 3 cards. What could go wrong? So now I'm going to search his library for a card, exile it, and then see what I can do about his commander, even though it does have the ward stuff going on. So that's going to go in the stack. And here's a look at his deck. And yeah, it's just a lot of enchantments, bunch of bounce stuff. Islands, like, oh boy, does he even have? I don't think he has fetch lands. Okay, still a good deck. It's pretty optimized. I think that's pretty cool. So I want to get rid of his commander. I went ahead and got the Imprison in the Moon. That's going to be one way to shut him down. He's not going to be able to draw cards. He's got 3 cards, but like you see in the deck, there's no real counter magic. There's no real threat. If you get rid of his commander, that's pretty much all she wrote. Um, I really love the interaction with this enchantment, as well as the opposition agent. It just makes opposition agent that much more strong. It is very clunky. It's only turn 5 and was able to get it out thanks to the talismans. So he is going to put that Thram power suit on there. He wants to go ahead and get as much damage as he can. He had 1 card left. Let's see what it is. Oh. No, he played that. +2/+2's goaded, then puts on the power suit. And that's just 12 commander damage. If he had a way to give it double strike or something, it's pretty bad. So he can scry 2, but can't really draw anything. So I don't know. This this game could have gone very badly, very fast. But he still gets to venture, so he can create tokens. But I'm not worried about. I was worried about the commander damage, even though he could. Well, no, he's got 1 card left. There's really not a whole lot he can do. So now I'm going to search out for a combo piece, Thassa's Oracle. Awesome, awesome card. Without this card, I don't think the health of the format would be very good, just due to the fact that there's some powerful stuff out there, not in blue. So blue has to have a way to keep up. And blue, you know, it's got counter magic early on, but if you got a deck that's puking out creatures and drawing cards, I mean, how many things are going to be able to counter? Just not a lot. Alright, so I get the Thassa's Oracle, and the first thing I want to do is get that Imprison in the Moon and pay the ward cost, and then Imperial Seal for the other thing. But actually, no, you shouldn't even have to Imperial Seal and use the 2 life, because I can just search his library and then search my library for free. So don't even have to pay the cost for the Imperial Seal. So once I do that, he realizes that I can pay the ward cost, and when that happens, he quits. But 1 more turn, it would have went to his turn 6, and the end of my turn 5, his turn 6, he definitely would have gotten in for lethal. But this showcased the power of opposition agent as well as Morn Song Aria. And yeah, that's an early game win. It would have resulted in a Thassa.